did it. I found the $1 million waterfront property that has the best location in Wenatchee. This home appraised for $1.7 million before its remodel. It has one of the best backyards and coolest water features I've ever seen. Let's go take a look.
So this is the Aspen Shores HOA, and what you're looking at there is across the street from the home that we're touring. There are homes in this neighborhood that are view, and then there's about 8 homes that have waterfront properties. This happens to be one of them. There's not a lot of waterfront properties this close to Wenatchee, and we'll talk more about the spectacular location in a little bit. This is just a little preview of one of the many water features on this property. Before we get into the tour today, I want to give a big thank you to Lane Etheridge of the Alpine Group for inviting us to tour his listing today. Here are some quick fast stats for this home. It is 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, built in 2005, and it sprawls over 5,416 square feet. This home has a full second living quarters downstairs with full kitchen. It's really kind of 2 homes in one. We'll take a look at that later in the video. The property is just shy of a 1/4 acre, but it feels so much bigger than that, partially due to the park located next door. We'll talk a little more about that later. The home location is in Douglas County, and it is just barely outside of the East Wenatchee city limits. However, it does have public water. The home also has irrigation and is on its own septic system. Okay, let's step inside and take a look at this beauty. Throughout the home, you're going to see this beautiful travertine tile throughout. This room off of the front entryway could be a formal dining room or office. There we just took a peek at some of the speakers. The home is completely wired throughout, indoors and out, with sound. Here is just a little sneak peek of some of the detailed work in the tile. As we walk through the arched doorway, it is going to open us up to the living room. To the left there was the primary bedroom. This home, you can live completely on this top floor if stairs were an issue for you. It's really laid out well, and all of the rooms up here are very large in size. A sneak peek of the riverfront view. Most of the main living areas and bedrooms all have a view of the Columbia River. There are 3 wood-burning fireplaces in the home. This is the first one in the living room. We'll see another one in the kitchen, dining room area, and the third in the primary bedroom. Okay, walking into the primary bedroom, this is a king-size bed in here. For scale, you can see how large this room actually is. And these windows on the corner of the home overlook, that is a community park. It doesn't get used very often. It's not the river access park that this neighborhood has. And having this park next to this property is what really makes the whole backyard feel very open. The great news is you don't have to maintain this lawn. It is done by the HOA. You can see a house over there in the corner. That house actually bought the lot that is between it and the park because they didn't want anyone to build there. So you're going to feel very spacious and private in this home. Now we're stepping out to the private balcony off the primary, and there is one of the outdoor speakers, and I'm not sure if you caught that. There's also power here, track stacking throughout, and glass rails so we don't block any of the view. And there is another sneak peek. That is not the full water feature. It keeps going, and we'll take a look at that in a little bit. So the view across the river, that is Malaga, and of course camera doesn't capture it very well. Malaga is a beautiful area to look at. It is rolling hills of orchards, and throughout the seasons you're going to see them change. The blossoms just happened. That whole hill was pink with flowers. It'll be green all summer long, and then of course in the fall you're going to get some spectacular color. Okay, the cabinet that was just to the right of the barn doors there, that is the area that you would put your sound system to hook up to all of the interior and exterior speakers. And now for the spa-like bathroom, you have deep jetted soaking tub, and the shower is a favorite of mine in this home. It is steam shower. If you've been in a steam shower, you know how wonderful they are. Okay, here we are, fully tiled because of the steam feature with the nice window for natural light. There is a bench, 2 standard shower heads, and then of course it also has the rain shower head on top. Okay, let's go check out the informal dining area and the kitchen. Once again, we have large windows overlooking the river and just providing a lot of great natural light, and a wood-burning fireplace there. Really nice to have fires rolling during the winter time and those colder months. Beautiful rock work both in this area and in the living room. We're going to step out to the second patio that is on this main living floor. Once again, track stacking and glass. And here we are plumbed with propane, so you can hook your barbecue directly to the home, to the propane tank that is on the side of the house. And right there you can see a little bit more of that water feature, how it starts up by the patio and then it just waterfalls and tears all the way down the property. They've got a little bridge over the creek, the man-made creek that they have there. You can walk around, there's some paths and a little seating area. Really, the sound that it makes is so relaxing. Here's just another angle of the beautiful views right through those trees there. You can see a little snow line. That's Mission Ridge. When there's night skiing going on, you'll be able to see the glow of those lights on the mountain. Speaking of Mission Ridge, you are going to be about a 30-minute drive to the resorts. Okay, stepping into the kitchen, you can see there is plenty of counter space. I'm not sure if you've caught this yet, but the full house has crown molding throughout. You have the tall cabinets that is also finished out with molding. There's certainly plenty of cabinet space in this kitchen. Plus you have the pantry. Some of these taller cabinets too, they have some great pull-out features in them. I'll show you that in just a second. This is just a single oven with a microwave on top. Of course, you may have saw earlier there is a gas burning range. So for propane, really the only thing that is going to be utilizing the propane tank would be that connection to the grill and your range inside. So you won't be filling the propane tank very often, maybe once a year. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I am Amanda Dahlman. I am a local realtor in Central Washington. And I do these home tours for clients that are moving from out of area. If you are looking for a home in Central Washington, Wenatchee, Leavenworth, Chelan, please fill out the form in the description of this video and I would love to connect with you. If you find homes that are interesting and you would like to do a video call before you drive over or fly out to look at it in person, this is what I specialize in. So anyways, welcome to the channel. All right, making our way to the garage. This is just a 2-car garage, but it's got a nice little workbench tucked away in the corner. And if you just caught that, there's also a heater, 3 electrical panels for this home, and 2 furnace AC systems, which is pretty normal for a house this size. Electric car charging is getting oh so popular, and this home does have room for an EV charger, so I hope that answers that question for you. Here we have just a side door that goes out to your driveway. A little bit of utility on this side of the house. You have one of your air conditioning units. Underneath this deck is where the propane tank is, so it's positioned for easy access to the street. Hot and cold running water in the garage, always a nice feature. Okay, as we make our way downstairs to look at the full-on second house down there. There's a full-on second house down there. And also a workout room and a movie theater. I want to talk a little bit about the location of this property because that's really what is so truly unique. to this home. In Central Washington, we have a ton of waterfront homes on the Columbia River and, of course, up in Lake Chelan. We also have waterfront towards the Leavenworth area on the Wenatchee River and Icicle. However, in Wenatchee proper, really close to the city, there is not very many waterfront homes. I would say maybe under 20. The reason is in Wenatchee, it is all public park with the Apple Capitol Loop Trail that lines the majority of the waterfront through both East Wenatchee and the Wenatchee side. So to find a home that has waterfront this close to downtown, and when I say this close, it's going to take you maybe 5 minutes to get to Costco from this area. Oh, here we just walked into the movie theater that has a little bit of wet bar. Well, I guess it's not a wet bar, but a refrigerator and microwave for snacks. Anyways, getting back to the location. So you are probably about 5 minutes to Costco and Safeway, very close. Directly outside of this neighborhood and up the hill, you have Highlander Golf Course, Union Hill Cider House, Circle 5 Winery, and outside of the subdivision is the Sunset Highway, which takes you directly into East Wenatchee and to the bridge over to downtown proper of Wenatchee. It's going to take maybe 10 minutes to get to the historical downtown of Wenatchee. So really hard to find a riverfront property, especially one this nice with a dock that we'll look at in a little bit here. There is 3 bedrooms down here, so a little lay of the land. 4-bedroom house. The primary is on that main floor, and the rest of the bedrooms are all down here. They all have walk-in closets with some built-in storage and ensuite bathrooms. This neighborhood does have an HOA, and the dues are about $425 a year, so not too bad. That covers the maintenance of that park that we saw to the left of the waterfall out there. And then the community also has a waterfront beach public area, which we didn't shoot in this film. If you come and look at this home, though, it's definitely something you want to check out. It is a pathway. You do have to hike into it, but it is on a really nice little cove inlet on the Columbia, so it kind of gets you off the main drift of the Columbia River. This community does not have its own boat launch. There's only probably about 8 homes in this neighborhood that actually have waterfront. But you don't really need the private boat launch because Hydro Park is just to the north of this neighborhood. It would take you less than 2 minutes to get to the boat launch there. And Hydro Park, if you're not familiar, it is a beautiful park that our PUD put in. There's baseball diamonds and tennis courts and pickleball courts and soccer fields and boat launches and beaches. So if you're looking for a little bit extra amenities, You have that at the park, and you just don't have to pay for it in your HOA. Dual hot water tank, very appropriate for a home this size. And then here is the second kitchen. So it is full-on kitchen. This room is very large. If it was staged, you would see that you could have a kitchen, a dining room, and even a family room in here. If you were using this downstairs as a second home, maybe a caretaker on the property was down here, or you've got some generational living. The workout room or the movie theater could also be turned into family room. But this is a lot of space. So the home is 5,416 square feet. So the upstairs is approximately, it's over 2,500 square feet upstairs and over 2,500 square feet downstairs. A lot of sprawl, a lot of space in this home. Okay, we finally made it outside. This patio is very large and a great place for entertaining. A little bit more of the water feature here. So you have some Trex decking that goes down to patio, and then right over in the corner we'll take a look at the spa. Let's talk a little bit about holding cost on this home. So these are things that you'll want to verify if you are interested in this home. You're going to have electricity, power. You're in Douglas County, so you have the cheapest power in the nation, and I'm going to guess that this is probably, I don't know, certainly under $200, maybe under $100 a month for power on this home. You're going to look into homeowners insurance. You're on city water, which is just your potable water for inside the home. This home is also on irrigation, which is significantly cheaper for water. It's what you want when you are watering a property this size. Let's see, property taxes, 2025, they are $6,508 a year. Oh, here's the side of the house and a little bit of that park. This is part of the HOA, and as we were shooting this video earlier today, there were guys out there mowing it, so the HOA maintains all of that. Okay, it is time to go check out this backyard. If you're anything like me, this is where I would be spending all of my time. This beautiful grass backyard with a fire pit and this water feature coming down. You've got a little bit of beach access. This is low bank, so this natural greenery that you're seeing along the river, that's mandated. It has to stay there. It has to stay natural for the ecosystem, but you can weave your way through it and get down to the water. I'll show you a couple of spots when we go out towards the dock. Living on the Columbia River, it is a river, so there is current. Of course, this section of the river is controlled by two different dams, a dam just below and a dam above. And you can get reports on when they're opening and closing those dams and what the water level fluctuation will be and the current speed. As we wind our way through this water feature, I'm going to talk a little bit about docks on the Columbia because they're pretty special if you have one. This is a shared dock. A lot of homes that have docks on the Columbia are going to be shared with typically just your neighbor, and the dock will be put right on the property line, just as this one is. It's very expensive and a very long process to get any sort of dock on the Columbia River. I wanna put numbers out there like $200,000. And you can't always just put a dock out either. There was a moratorium for several years where they were not issuing any dock permits. That's been lifted, but talking to an expert who drives the piles for these docks, they're saying that they feel like that moratorium could come back. So just know that having a dock that is already on the property is saving you years in EPA and permitting, and it has quite a bit of value. This is a floating dock, so this dock is on the higher side, the higher end of docks. It will fluctuate as the river rises and lowers, and I really like the way that they have it positioned, so you can bring your boat around and buoy on the inside. And here you can kind of see how low bank this is out here. So you can go right from your house down to the river. If it was me, I would be tying an inner tube and sitting in the river on those hot summer days. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me on this tour today. And if you want to look at any homes in Central Washington, you want to see a video of a home in Central Washington, let me know. I'd love to help you out and set that up. I'll see you next week.